Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the Radeon RX 6700 XT in Gray Zone Warfare. This one is the Sapphire Pulse edition of the card. We are running it with the latest AMD drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Ups. GPU Z, resizable bar, or AMD SAM is enabled. We got 12GB of GDDR6 to work with, and over on the left, we're pairing it with the Ryzen 9 7950X3D with half of its cores disabled, so it's basically the same as the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. And finally, on the memory tab, we're using 32GB of DDR5 6000MHz RAM in dual channel. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings first. I'm starting at 1080p resolution using the high settings here with TSR, anti-aliasing off, and 100% 3D resolution. I'm also going to test it with some FSR, of course, and frame generation, which is absolutely needed for this game. They actually do recommend the use of FSR frame generation in this particular title. Okay, so I don't really have anything on me right now. Let's grab the chopper, actually. Grab a ride over here. Also, I've seen some people saying that this GPU gets 60 FPS plus all of the time at 1440p native resolution with the high settings, and given that we are dropping from 60 FPS already at 1080p high settings, I call it BS, okay? You are probably utilizing FSR Quality by default because the game actually selects that by default. And by the way, the video hasn't paused, the game hasn't crashed, it runs like this because they do the shader compilation on the fly while you play the game, which is absolutely ridiculous. So this will happen for the first like 10 minutes of gameplay, and then it will smooth out and only happen a couple of times here and there as you load new areas, basically. Can you please remove your gun from my face, buddy? I would very much like that. Alright, now the game looks good here at high settings, you know, the texture resolution looks pretty nice as well on the weapon and the face and stuff like that, pretty much everywhere. And well, I guess we're gonna go to the YBL1 area right there, and a couple of people are already there, so maybe we can grab a weapon off of some dead body or something. Now, it's dropping into the 40s, as you can see, guys, so that's pretty underwhelming, especially after what people were telling me they were getting with the 6700 XT. For some reason, I thought maybe that's true, you know, maybe the AMD GPUs are doing a much better job than NVIDIA in this particular title, but, well, no, it's just because people are claiming they're playing at native resolution while they're using FSR and possibly frame generation as well. Anyway, over here, 49, 50 frames per second. It's not bad, you know, the 2060, for example, up there looking back at the woods area and the jungle area, it actually dropped to 19 or 18 frames per second. It was absolutely awful of an experience with that card, but that was because it was VRAM limited. It only has 6GB of VRAM, the version that I tested. This one doesn't have such problems, so everything is okay. This is definitely a playable experience on the 6700 XT. The FPS don't really change by much wherever you are in the map. It's usually going to hover around your averages. It has a few stuttering issues here and there, of course, because of shader compilation mainly. This one was because of the server lag. Rubber banding is a huge problem in this title as well. Now, I'm gonna stop it there for the native resolution testing. Enable some FSR, not on quality. I'm gonna do native still, okay? That's very similar to the FPS that we were seeing with TSR native. It's basically the same stuff, but this applies the AA from FSR, just like DLAA for NVIDIA GPUs. And over native resolution, I'm gonna enable some FSR frame generation. Now, this gets us up into the 80s. Oh my god, that's so terrible, dude, whenever that happens. The rubber banding is insane at the moment. Holy crap. Oh boy. Okay, what are you doing there, buddy? Let's move on. Let's move on. I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's go. Okay. Now, since we're getting around 80 to 90 frames per second right here and only dropping into like the high 70s at times, I think this is definitely very playable and more enjoyable than the native resolution at 45 to 50 frames per second most of the time. In this particular title, the frame generation input lag at 80-ish FPS doesn't feel terrible. In my opinion, at least. Some people say that it does, but, well, to me, a filthy casual player, okay, in these games at least, I really feel it does well with 80-something FPS and frame generation enabled. And given that a lot of people are saying that the game runs just fine for them, and they're not even aware that frame generation is enabled, that's why it runs just fine for them, they're also not really feeling the input lag from FSR, frame generation. You know, there's an enemy guy right there. This is a very bad place to be at. Oh boy. All right, wait. Maybe we need to take him out, right? I'm just gonna go through the bushes here. Come on. All right, I got him. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. He didn't die. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, couple of them. Nope. Nope. Come on. Oh, no bullets. Nope. Damn it. That was so fast. Okay, well, let's go back to base. Anyway, this is just my opinion, of course. If it drops down from like 75 frames per second, it gets extremely hard to aim with the frame generation because of the input lag, but if it doesn't drop from 75 and it's mostly at 80 plus here from what we're seeing, it works absolutely fine at 1080p. It doesn't really look too far off of the native resolution either, and since we're not utilizing like FSR quality, it's not a blocky and pixelated mess like it would be with FSR quality enabled. So yeah, just enable frame generation on top of native AA here with the 6700 XT and 1080p resolution if you're playing at 1080p. Leave the high settings and enjoy the game like that. It's going to be a fun experience without many stuttering issues, which you're going to come across every now and again, of course. But yeah, right now you can see the frame time graph is very, very smooth. All right, usually there's an enemy around here. I'll try to take him out with a knife. It should be pretty easy. I've done this a couple of times already. Let me just check if nothing's here. Yeah, it works pretty well. Wait a second. Let me just go ahead, change the settings, okay, because we've been playing like this for a long time. This is what I recommend for the 1080p resolution, but let's try it with quality FSR at the same time. Some people are playing like this because this is what it defaults to, actually. If you set it to the high preset with the 6700 XT, it will enable FSR quality plus frame generation, and right now it looks very pixelated whenever I move the camera around like this. You can see a lot of noise because the game is very detailed, you know, like if you take a look around the knife, for example, it's very noticeable. I mean, YouTube is just gonna wreck the visual quality anyway with the compression, right? But hey, if I move like this very slowly, you can probably pick it up that things are becoming pretty pixelated when I move. Still, it's not the end of the world. I think some people might enjoy the game like this still, and now the input lag from frame generation is much reduced because, well, it is getting 100 plus frames per second. This feels way nicer right now. Although, again, I feel like 80 to 90 is also pretty cool for this game. You can play absolutely fine like that, especially if you're a casual player, and that's what I would utilize with the 6700 XT right here. Also, frame generation looks pretty noisy on the shadows department inside of these stores and the shadowy areas of the map, basically. It doesn't really look that great. I guess you really gotta compromise if you want to play the game smoothly in its current state. Now, something that I haven't tried yet is no frame generation and quality FSR at the same time. It gets a slightly lower FPS, actually considerably lower FPS than just native AA and frame generation at the same time, dropping down to 60 frames per second right there. Doesn't really boost our FPS by that much compared to frame generation over native resolution, and it will probably dip down from 60 FPS. It's not doing that, but there we go, 59 FPS right there. So it's not going to be stable 60 plus 100% of the time if you don't use frame generation, unfortunately. Who is shooting in that direction? Let me check the map over here. Probably a friendly guy, very, very far away from us. Can't even spot it right now because the game essentially is running at 720p at the moment and being upscaled to 1080p with the use of FSR quality. So yeah, that's it. I am gonna stop right here and test it out at 1440p. The 6700 XT is still a very nice GPU for 1440p gaming, but this game is a completely different beast. Let's check it out now. Gonna disable FSR and set it back to TSR, 100% resolution scale. And this is what people told me they were using for 60 FPS. at native 1440p. Come on, guys. It's just, you gotta check your settings a little bit better, you know? Like, you come into my comment section saying that you're playing the game at 1440p high, 60 FPS with this GPU, native res, and it's just not happening. You're misleading other people. Why are you doing it, guys? Maybe you just don't know that frame generation is actually enabled, but come on. Be a little bit more careful with what you say, all right? And same goes for me. Sometimes I talk crap, but anyways. So there are usually like 3 enemies in those houses. I really don't want to go there with a knife alone, so I think we're just gonna head for the city right there and make the best of our situation. Maybe try to grab a weapon or something. Oh my god. I hate it when this happens because it messes up our 1% lows like crazy, right? But I guess I'll leave it like that from now on. It's gonna happen, guys. It's bound to happen. The 1% lows metric is gonna get wrecked in just a little bit again. Oh boy, because we haven't really rendered this town yet in this video. Oh, no, he saw us. He saw us. Oh boy, they're shooting at us. Wait a second. Please don't hear me. Okay, all good. Don't think there are weapons there, so there's no need to go check that out. Come on, he has an AK. I really want that 8K. 8K, no, not 8K. That's not an AK. Come, die, dude. Die, please. Gosh, okay. What the hell? The lag, dude. The lag completely wrecks the experience as well. Holy. Okay, anyway, we got a lot of bullets for this weapon, some gauze, some cola, that's nice. I'm actually gonna drink this. Ooh, I died here once with a shot to the head with somebody who was standing right there, I think. Alright, let's not stand here. Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Okay, maybe I should utilize some frame generation and FSR. Here we go. FSR Native is now applied with frame generation enabled, and that is good to push our frame rate up to 60 frames per second. So this is what people are claiming is native resolution, and I mean, they're not wrong, because it's frame generation over native resolution. So maybe they're onto something in the comment section. Oh, I'm sorry about the screen tearing. I couldn't really enable it on the AMD GPU for some reason, the FreeSync technology with the capture card. So it's going to happen a lot here at 60 frames per second. But, oh boy. Okay, dead. Let's reload this. We got a bunch of bullets, so... yeah, gotta take it easy, my friends. Oof, it doesn't feel good when moving the camera around like this really fast. For some reason, it doesn't feel like 60 FPS when you do that. If you're moving like this very slowly, it feels like 60, but if you're moving like this, you can see some stuttering, even though it's not showing up in the frame time graph. AK. You know what? I kind of like this weapon. Let's move with it. The damage is way higher than with the AK, at least. Now, the bad thing is... why are the bots so oblivious sometimes, and then one comes around and kills you like that? That's ridiculous. Who is shooting? Why? Why are you shooting at me at the moment? Come on, buddy. Don't do that. By the way, I just restarted the game to reset the VRAM allocation values and the RAM usage values. They're much lower now. It was touching 20 gigabytes of RAM utilization previously, so that's a lot. I figured let's restart, see how many FPS we can get after a restart, and it's basically the same thing. We're getting like maybe 2 more FPS. It's margin of error stuff, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And of course, things will start loading into the RAM as we progress, so it will end up being the same. Anyway, as I was saying before, we were rudely killed by Bob, because that was definitely Bob. Bob is the best player in the bot team, and he just took me out there instantly, like that. I was saying that 60 FPS might look like 60 FPS with frame generation, but the input lag that you're getting, basically your mouse movement, is about half of the FPS that we're seeing on screen right now. So that makes it feel a little bit worse and a little bit more sluggish in terms of aiming and so on than native resolution with 35 frames per second or so, because this is essentially 30-31 FPS input lag now. And whereas without frame generation things felt snappy-ish while moving the camera around. This doesn't feel snappy whatsoever. It is not a good experience whenever 60 FPS is what you can get with frame generation enabled. There's an enemy right there. Oh boy, come on! Don't you dare shoot at me with that shotgun, buddy! Come on, please die, please die, please die! Please, God! No! I am... Ah, seriously, do you have some gauze for me, please? God damn it, dude. I don't want to use it. Okay. Coffee. No, I'm gonna die. I am gonna die again because the game fails to register every shot you take sometimes. Because the servers are completely broken. I have no idea how people are actually playing this game. Come on. It doesn't work half of the time. You're going to lose a lot of equipment because of these things that are random. Sometimes it registers, other times it doesn't. Anyway, what I'm saying here is this is not a good experience. I would rather disable frame generation and play with the 30-ish FPS that we were playing previously at native resolution than to have frame generation enabled, because this now feels kind of instant, moving the camera around. It doesn't feel good because, you know, it's very choppy, the image. It's 40-ish FPS or 30-ish FPS, but at least it's instant. Now, what you can do to make this a little bit better is play with Quality FSR. And with Quality FSR, it gets us around 50 frames per second. So now we're getting around the FPS that 1080p gave us previously at native 1080p resolution, you know, and the visuals might be a little bit better than native 1080p, especially if you have a 1440p monitor. Of course, it's going to upscale to your native resolution. It's going to be a lot sharper like this than at 1080p if you lower your internal resolution. But since FSR is so noisy these days, especially in these very detailed games, it's not amazing, guys. It's not amazing, unfortunately. Alright, now let's pick up his things, finally. And we're good to go, I think. Where is our previous body, by the way? Oh, there he is. Look at us, guys! It's me! Okay, there's an enemy right there. This is not gonna go well with the shotgun. Instant! Oh my god, what is going on with the freaking bots today? I'm not usually this bad, okay? I sometimes do pretty well and kill like 10 bots before I die. I don't know what's happening this time. Oh boy. Also, guys, I'm noticing that the GPU utilization is at around 95-96% sometimes. It's not a CPU bottleneck because I tested the 4080 Super, for example, and the 4070 with this CPU that I am using here, and it didn't bottleneck those cards, so of course it can't be bottlenecking the 6700 XT. I guess it's just that in this particular title, AMD GPUs will run at around these values. I also see the exact same thing happening with Red Dead Redemption 2 and NVIDIA GPUs. They run at like 95% all of the time. It doesn't really matter. What am I talking about? Let's move on. Oh boy. Come on. Okay, all good. Also, yeah, very blocky shadows still, even without frame generation, so I guess it's down to FSR here. Oh boy. I don't see the guy. Where did he go? Seriously, did he die actually? Oh, he died! Oh! We're dead, aren't we, Mr. Bob? Okay. Let's just make sure, by the way. Alright. Anyway, I'm very tired at the moment. Do I have anything to drink? Yes, water. Let's drink some water. There we go. Oh, look at that. He even takes off the cap and puts it back. Look at that. Look at the attention to detail. And I saw the cap moving as well. It's great, guys. Sometimes this game surprises me a little bit, not gonna lie. So yeah, these are the settings that I would probably recommend to someone looking for that high fidelity visual experience. Oh my god. And some decent snappy gameplay at the same time, but who doesn't care about like 60 FPS all of the time at least? Jesus Christ. No, seriously, this can't be. This can't be. I shouldn't really be pushing them like that, but I don't know how to play with a shotgun other than that. Alright, well, let's stop it there now, guys, and let's try it with frame generation on top of Quality FSR. And this now gets us around 80-ish frames per second. These are basically the FPS that I saw with the RTX 4070 with frame generation alone and DLAA instead of DLSS quality, you know? So native resolution with frame generation enabled at 1440p, epic settings actually. So there's quite a bit of a difference there between the 6700 XT and the 4070. Anyway, I gotta say that this feels way more comfortable right now, guys, with 80-ish FPS, essentially like 70 plus FPS all of the time with frame generation and quality FSR. It doesn't look particularly great because, well, it's quality FSR and frame generation on top of it. Even with quality FSR alone, it didn't look great, honestly. It's a little bit blocky, but again, if you have a 1440p monitor, native resolution at like 27 inches with high PPI, it might look good even with FSR quality and frame generation on top of it. Let me know in the comments if you are using something like that, by the way. I'm curious to see. I'm using a 4K monitor for this, so of course, to my eyes, it looks a little bit worse than it would on a native 1440p monitor. My boy is already tired. I'm gonna drink some water again. Let's go. And now, did you just litter the bottle? I don't see the bottle anymore, but it's not here. It just disappeared. Please don't tell me you littered. It's very important to keep our world clean. This is the only one we have, okay, friends? So don't litter in real life, all right? Please. We're almost where we died previously. There's one there. He already heard us. Okay. All right, one dead. I see another one just running right there. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Alright, this is a perfect time for us to change the settings and try something new. So let's set it back to TSR, native resolution, please. It actually defaults to 67% right there, if you enable TSR. And I think we're gonna do it at medium settings next. I'm also going to restart the game to fully apply all of the settings here. Well, here we are. Medium settings at 1440p. Looks kind of the same. It gets around, what, 5 more FPS? 5 to 7 more FPS or so. Let's stand right there. Actually, we were seeing like 32 frames per second. All right, so apparently we're getting 40 frames per second. That's quite a decent boost to the frame rate, actually, but it still dips down into the 30s sometimes. No, 37, 38. Yeah, I guess it's like 5 FPS more than what we saw previously, honestly. It's not really that big of a difference, both in terms of the visuals and the performance as well. So even enabling frame generation on top of this won't really make it a much different experience than what we saw previously. Let's go native AA. Yeah, 70s, 60s. It's still rough. At 75 plus, I could get by, but sometimes it will drop from 75, and it's just not really that enjoyable, guys. So yeah, I wouldn't really do this, but I would do it with frame generation and quality FSR. This is how you should play this if you want to play at 1440p with a 6700 XT above 60 frames per second with reasonable input lag. Yeah, this feels alright. Alright, no, it actually feels really good right now. Okay, it's also quick. The response times and so on, the input lag, and I'm gonna die a third or fourth time now, trying to kill those guys. Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Do not expect anything great coming from my gameplay here today, because I ain't feeling it, apparently. I was really expecting to do great, because I'm more energetic than I was yesterday while making yesterday's videos for some reason. Probably I slept a little bit better today. But no, the game decided, screw you, Crisp, we're gonna kill you every single time. The bots are now set to extreme difficulty. Right, they're fighting each other right there in that direction. Let's go. Are they all inside of the house right now? Chocolate bar right there. Not gonna pick it up until I have a weapon. Okay, I don't see anyone. Right? Yeah, this is empty. This is all empty. Seriously? Where are them bastards right now? Dead bodies. Yes, let me go there, server, please. I beg you. I really need a weapon. No! 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 What the hell? No, this can't be a bot, right? No, my God, what? This is a friendly guy. Friendly, right? Wait, no? He doesn't show up in the map. No, it's not a friendly. It's not a... Go! My God, why do the bots shoot like that now? I thought they were, like, more careful with their shots. Bam, bam, bam. This one was... What the heck? Dude, how am I supposed to do this? Anyway, and with that said, I think this is enough of medium settings at 1440p with frame generation and so on. It's not really that different from high. You get like 5 more FPS. Unless you use frame generation, then you get like 10, 20 more frames per second most of the time. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Let's go down to 1080p and check it out at like native with medium settings. We might actually be able to get 60 FPS at 1080p medium without any FSR, but let's try it with native AA and frame generation first. Kind of the same FPS as 1440p. Oh boy. Oh boy. 1440p with medium settings, quality FSR and frame generation on top of it. So it doesn't really look too bad, and it's actually really smooth at the moment. If you want that extra smoothness over what we saw on high and frame generation native at 1080p, this is a good option. It doesn't really look all that different anyway, so go for it. Medium settings, it's alright with the 6700 XT. This can do a lot of gaming at 1440p medium to high, but this ain't one of them. This is UE5, extremely intensive, extremely unoptimized at the same time, and it's early access as well, so yeah, it just... All of the GPUs struggle in this game, actually, to be quite honest with you guys. Even like the RTX 4080 Super that I tested, it couldn't hold 60 FPS at 4K. It couldn't even reach 60 FPS at 4K epic settings. And that's usually a 4K gaming GPU, absolutely, right? Alright, finally, guys, finally we got an AK. Yes! Yes, did it have bullets? Wait a second. 27, yeah, that's enough. That's more than enough for me to kill a guy and die right after, right? Or not even kill the guy. Anyway, I think we should probably move on. This is becoming a really big video, actually. Let's go ahead, try some native resolution, yeah, with TSR again. Come on, TSR, anti-aliasing off right there, and 100% resolution scale. It's kind of the same as high settings, guys. Yep, it is not really that different. Again, it might be 3 to 4 FPS apart. But yeah, it seems like it doesn't really change things by that much if you just lower the settings preset by a notch and play at native resolution. Yeah, oh boy, I heard somebody talking around here. My God! My God, I'm being shot at. Oh boy, do I have gauze or something? Please, don't let me die again, game. Don't let me... God damn it. The lag. The lag is unreal. Like, everything is unreal. The engine is unreal as well. And the performance. And the lag. Please. There we go. We got him. Oh my gosh, it didn't used to be this bad, you know, up until now. God! Oh my God! God, no! No, I shot you 3 times at the very least. It didn't connect, guys. It is not playable in this state because of the lag. Damn. That's so annoying, dude. Alright, let's end it with FSR Quality here at 1080p resolution. I'm not gonna bother testing 4K because, frankly, it's not capable of doing 4K in this title, right? And with FSR Quality, things become way softer and blurrier and pixelated, noisy. You get 60 FPS though, so that's something, and that's native 60 FPS, you could say, without frame generation, so it feels quick and responsive, but it still drops down into the 50s. This is, once again, unacceptable performance, as I'm sure you're aware of right now. It's going to be playable with the 6700 XT at the very least, especially with some frame generation and the help of FSR. Even at 1440p, it's going to be alright. But this is a much stronger GPU than it shows right here. My god, that's all server related, guys. That was all server related. Didn't show up in the frame time. Holy crap. I would avoid this game for now. Even though it's playable and it's quite fun to play when it works, I would avoid it because I wouldn't really give my money to the developers. They released it too early, basically. They should have waited a little bit longer. I guess it's because of the thing going on with Tarkov, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.